Hi, this is Ken Boyd with the Accounting Accidentally website, and I wanted to talk about a blog post, online bookkeeping tips and accounting best practices. I think this is a hugely important issue for those of you who are in the early stages of starting a business in particular. So, you're busy people. You've got to make dozens of decisions every week, and it gets even more complicated as you try to manage growth. And this is all about putting systems in place at the beginning so you can grow later. And I highly recommend two things on accounting. The first is that you do it online with cloud backup, and second, that you use accounting software. But before we get there, we have to talk about the definition of bookkeeping. Bookkeeping is the process of using source documents to post accounting transactions. And once you post transactions, you can use the results to generate financial statements. So, let's say, for example, you get a bill from a vendor, from a supplier, and you want to pay the bill. The bill is your source document, and you use that document to post an increase in expenses and a decrease in cash. And that's a transaction in your accounting records. And after posting dozens or maybe even hundreds of transactions, you end up creating financial statements. So bookkeeping is the beginning of the process. But it may sound odd, but you need to start this process with the end in mind. Where long term do you want to go with your business? And business owners have different goals. You may want to raise capital by selling ownership, or you may want to borrow money to fund operations, which means you need to work with a commercial banker. And then looking further down the road, you might, years from now, decide to sell your company. And there's a term called stakeholders, people that have an interest in your business, which include investors, lenders, potential buyers. And all of these people, as I point out here, want a well-organized set of accounting records. And written documents and Excel spreadsheets simply is not sufficient. You need to use software to minimize your errors, to work quickly, and to generate accurate financial statements. The faster you can get away from using Excel, the better for these reasons. So, extending from that, it's all about getting rid of paper. And as I mentioned before, bookkeeping software allows you to back up on the cloud and minimize the use of paper files. Consider, for example, the hundreds of bills you receive each year. Well, rather than keep paper files, and we've all done this, we've got manila envelopes or a drawer stuffed with paper, scan them and save each bill on the cloud. And in fact, software now allows you to connect that bill with the expense account you use to post the bill in your accounting system. It's much cleaner, it's easier to find information, you can find documentation for a particular transaction far easier. Assume, for example, you want to review a $200 payment to Standard Office Supply posted on November 15th. You're not really sure, you can't remember why you posted the transaction. Well, software is great because you can display the image of the bill along with the expense account that you use right online and even the check number. And all this documentation makes the process much easier. So that's the first portion of this online bookkeeping tips discussion. Remember that if you go to the homepage of Accounting Accidentally, you'll find hundreds of blog posts on accounting and finance. You'll also find, if you go to the middle of the page, links to over 400 YouTube videos. Here are some recent blogs in the categories where I do my writing. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.